Welcome to the Hide Your Moms podcast. I told you guys I would get a guest. I don't even know what episode we're on, but I know that it's the fourth episode in a week or fourth episode in a month, which means that's one a week. I told you guys I was going to get consistent. I'm doing just that. Our guest today, my lovely girlfriend, Brooke Roberts. Welcome, everybody. Brooke Roberts.
Oh, give me some claps.
Yep. The once upon a time D1 social media star, the skin cancer having, the blonde roots hardly staying, white teeth shining, big nose.
Really? Too far.
I'm joking. But we're back. Oh, you good over there?
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured it out?
Yeah, I really want to maybe one day we should try to record a song with this.
Oh, no, I don't think. Oh, you think? You think you could sing?
No, well, yes, but yeah. Like a Taylor Swift song cover.
Will you give us a snippet?
I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. You know that song?
Nope.
Long live. Long live the walls we crashed through. How the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. No? Doesn't ring a bell?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Hey, Steven,
Oh.
I can give you 50 reasons
that
why
one.
I should be the one
I know
you
that one.
choose. Okay.
It's so accurate that we might get copyright because it's so, like, it could be Taylor.
You're on the phone.
Oh, I
with
know
your
that one too.
girl. Okay. And now remember it all.
I know that one as well.
I know you know a lot. He was sunshine, I was midnight rain. He wanted it comfortable, I wanted that pain. He wanted
Would you
a
be a pop
bride,
star if
I
you
was
could?
making my... Oh my gosh, a million times over.
You'd want to be a pop star?
1,000%.
Would you want to be...
That's like, okay,
Oh.
remember that one time... Sorry, I cut you off.
Your turn.
Remember that one time we were playing a game with my parents at my house and they were like... It was like, what's your dream to do? And my dad said like being a singer with CDs in Target or something.
No, he wanted to be an actor.
Oh, an actor. Crap. Mine would be to be a pop star.
Really?
To tour and sing. And yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hannah Montana really did it for me. She got the best of both worlds.
Would
And
you want to
limo
be a
out
Hannah
front.
Montana or would you want to be a Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Okay.
But I feel like Hannah Montana
Would you put on a disguise if you were a pop star? Mm-mm. No? Why not? You'd want to be always known. Like you want, like if you go out in public, you want to just be known as Taylor Swift always?
Well, I feel like if I'm Taylor Swift, then I don't really have to worry about always being seen, but I wouldn't want to like be Miley Stewart and Hannah Montana.
But what's that one girl with the wig that comes over? Like she has the wig and nobody knows who she is?
Hannah Montana.
No. It like goes over her face.
Sia?
Maybe. Is that her?
Yeah. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier.
And then she sings Royal. Wanna be your royal.
No, that's Lord.
ruler. Those are different people?
Yeah, wait. Let me check.
I
Let me
want to
fact
be
check
your
this.
ruler.
I don't think it's ruler.
I want to be your queen bee. So baby, I'll rule, I'll rule, I'll rule.
Let me live that. Yeah, that's Lord.
So it is ruler. I was right. I just put together that ruler could be that has two different meanings.
Royals. Yeah. Not ruler. Royal.
I want to be your royal.
And that's Lord, not Sia. Sia's I'm gonna swing.
Yeah, but
from
did you
the
know ruler could be
chandelier.
in two different things? Like you could rule something and be the ruler of something, or you're just like
A ruler that measures.
you measure something.
Yeah.
Never put that together. Why would that be two different things?
Well, a lot of different words have different meanings.
Okay, I'm going to give you some words and you give me their plural version.
What's plural?
Come on, for real.
No, I'm serious. I always struggled with that in school.
Don't play around.
Singular and plural. Like their and theirs.
No, if you're like talking... Brooke, am I really going to have to explain this lesson to you? I'm not a teacher. I'm not qualified, but I guess I will.
Call Ross.
Okay, listen. So if you have like...
Cacti and cactus.
Yeah, there you go.
But which one's plural? What does plural mean? Alone?
No, multiple.
So cacti would be singular.
You're my girlfriend and I'm a little nervous that you might be dumb.
No, it's okay. This is the bad things that I was really bad at in school. reading a clock, can't do that. I missed that. I got strep throat. You know this story. I got strep throat and missed the whole entire lesson on it. And so
But I've taught you how to do it.
okay, I can like if I sit there and look at the clock for a while, I can do it, but I can't like, oh yeah, 2:05. Like no, excuse me. And singular and plural, I always struggled with that.
Okay.
And like adjectives, I know a noun.
What's an adjective?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a sentence, and then you tell me what the adjective is in the sentence, okay?
Well, could you tell me what an adjective is
Nope.
first?
You just got to guess.
I'm gonna get it wrong. Okay.
Outside, I have a very beautiful green treehouse. What's the adjective in there?
Okay, so
Okay, I'm actually terrified.
the noun is treehouse,
Okay,
right?
you tell me.
Just making sure.
Probably.
You don't even know.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Don't project.
Beautiful.
Huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the adjective?
Yep.
Because it describes it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. See, it's coming back a little bit.
And you were wrong. Green is also an adjective. Beautiful green treehouse.
Okay. Well, I got the first one right.
Yeah, that was a trick question, and you don't know. So an adjective is something that describes a noun, sweetie, okay? And then we have, what's a verb? Holy shit.
Hold on.
We did constant worksheets from like 3rd grade
I
to 8th
know,
grade.
and I always got terrible grades.
How did you make how did you make it? This explains why you flunked out of college.
Because when I would study, I would memorize the study guide. So I wouldn't like actually learn it. I would just memorize the study guide.
But you'd have to pick up a little bit, don't you think?
Didn't.
Okay. Well,
But wait, hold on.
a verb is running, jogging. It's an action.
So outside.
Oh, a verb doesn't have to be outside.
Well, there wasn't a verb in that sentence.
I know. I don't know why we're still on that sentence. That sentence was for you to get the adjective. Listen, so if you were to strum a guitar,
Strumming is the verb.
thank you. Okay. If you were to
I'm not good in school.
no, yeah, that's why you're not in it no more.
Actually, fun fact. Listen to this one,
Oh, I
guys.
can't wait.
So in Texas, we have this thing called the STAR test, and they made you think that it was if you don't pass the STAR test, you don't move on to the next grade. But really, it's a bunch of BS because really it was just to test the teachers to see how well they're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it seem it would be a scare tactic. Like if you don't pass this, you're not gonna go to the next grade. But it was really because they wanted their students to do well, so they would get a good grade, basically.
Right.
And it was terrible. It's literally like the SAT, but in elementary school. You had 4 hours to take a test.
It wasn't called the STAR test though. Ours was called the Kansas State test.
Yeah, and
State test.
I had this dude. My last name's Roberts, and I had this guy named John Rowe. Shout out John Rowe. He was the valedictorian of our high school, and I always got sat next to him because our last names were close to each other, and we were taking the science STAR test. Science, worst subject. All of them are pretty bad, but science was the worst one.
How could that be worse than you not knowing? How could that be worse than like language arts? You don't even know what a verb or an adjective is.
So I promise you, science was worse
Oh my.
because I didn't even know what thing that was going on in science class. And
Okay, let me pause you right there. I'm going to give you a element, and you got to give me its chemical symbol. Okay. So if I say gold, what would be gold's?
I don't know, but I know H2O for water.
Yeah.
And CO2 is carbon dioxide.
Yes. What's gold?
G?
No.
What?
AU.
I don't know.
Okay. What's lead?
IU.
No. PB.
I don't know the periodic table.
What? That's okay. Let's try one more.
Well, I'm not going to get any of them.
One more. What's cobalt?
C.
No. That would be carbon.
Let me finish.
What's cobalt?
I don't know.
Just give me some.
CO.
Yay! You did it. See? You know more than you think.
Okay, anyways.
You
back
might be dumber than bricks. Sorry. Continue.
dumber than a box of rocks is what I like to say.
Oh, sorry.
Basically, we're taking the STAR test, and John Rowe, this is when we have the paper folders, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're...
You gotta like put them up so you don't cheat.
Yeah. No one knows about that now that's in school. Because they have like the computers and
They have like
everything.
ad blockers.
Proctors and everything. We had the paper folders, and you actually got a piece of paper and a pencil. And...
We're acting like parents. Like
Well, that... Yeah.
we had a typewriter. And we had to walk uphill 9 miles.
No, so
We actually used pencils.
John was.
Not even an electric pencil sharpener.
Oh, yeah, the winders.
Remember the winders?
There was always one in
I'd
the
fucking
wall.
get on that,
There was
bitch.
always one in the wall, but we also always had an electric one, and there was always a line for the electric one, and no one wanted to use the wall, including
I'd
me.
get up on that wall, boy. I'd hang on it. I'm grinding out. Whoa, what?
So let me finish this really
Did you ever
quick.
get it too sharp and it broke off?
Yes.
It made me so mad.
Can
Dude,
I
I'd sit-
finish it?
Sorry.
So we were sitting and we were taking the science star test, and it was the worst one. I was so nervous about it. And John Rowe was sitting right next to me, and I was like, I'm not going to go to the next grade if I don't pass this. So I had to get creative with my cheating. And what I would do is we had Scantron. So you had the paper and then the Scantron. And I'm going to give you an example what I would do. Let me move this. John Rowe's right here.
All right, let's see what you got here. What's going on? Okay, you're up. Where's the example?
I would readjust the way I was sitting, and I would sit on my legs and look over the paper and see the Scantron and circle the exact way. It was actually an art because, fun fact, come to find out, I missed one question on the Science Star test and got invited to Washington, D.C. to go to do like some science thing
What?
for gifted people. And my mom was like, Brooke, this is amazing. And she was like, you should go. And I was like, I can't.
You
I'm booked.
deserve to sit on. John Rowe should get a face sit from you.
He
He deserves something.
ended up being the valedictorian of our school. Our graduating class had 1,500 kids, and he was the smartest
He
one.
was the guy. Do you think being smart gets you any type of play, like with girls? Like if
I think if they cared about it, then yeah. But I feel like in those ages, the developmental ages, like through high school, they don't really care about girls. They want to, if you're really smart, I feel like they're just really focused on.
what does a girl want in high school? What are they looking for? Like an athlete?
I don't know. I guess
I guess it depends what kind of girl you are.
I feel like you're so,
Some girls want that guy that'll just smoke a lot.
yeah.
Of Goonji, nah.
I don't know.
Did John Rowe ever have a girlfriend?
I don't think so. We kind of departed ways as we got to.
You never
middle
gave
school
him
and high
anything?
school.
Never even showed him a tit?
No, I didn't have any, remember? And I was
Yeah.
also a child.
Oh, yeah, true. That's a good point. Maybe we shouldn't say that. But not even when you got older?
No,
You never came back and be like, you know what, I owe you this. You got me a trip to D.C.
I didn't go.
Why didn't you go?
Spencer, I wouldn't have belonged there. I would have been an airhead. I would have been like, what's happening? They'd probably been like, Brooke, I know you know this question. And I'd be like,
Oh, it was like you went there for like a test?
no, it wasn't a test. It was like some award thing.
Were you going to win the award or just no?
I don't know.
You never went?
I think it was like a nomination for something. And I do actually think about like, there had to have been at least one of the things that I didn't see on a Scantron because it was hard. It was like a whole Scantron thing and I was just following the patterns. But there would have been one that I had missed that he got wrong and that I got right because I just guessed because I didn't know what he circled.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may, and I just think it was,
You think you did better?
I think so.
Gosh, I wish you had his number.
I know.
We need to call him.
I don't even know where he went to high school. It had to have been like Harvard or MIT or something.
And you went to Arkansas and get an 8% on a damn algebra test. Oh gosh. I feel like when we did our state testing, they gave us like gum and water bottles. They made you feel like real loved.
They brought it for you?
Yeah.
We had to pack our own.
We're going to give you gum so you guys can focus. We'll give you a water bottle. And well, I mean, they probably had to supply a lot more. Like there's like 100 people in my grade. So I didn't have to supply that many things.
Yeah. What was your go-to snack? You know, in elementary school, you always had snacks. Like you would have snack time. What was your go-to?
Oh gosh. I was like I wanted to bring a Mountain Dew or like a Dr. Pepper.
You were allowed to have soda in elementary school?
I thought you were talking, well, we weren't allowed to have snacks, period, really.
You didn't have snack time?
Uh-uh.
Spencer, that's cruel. That's so sad.
Like how long were you getting snack time up till?
Just once. It would be
But like what grades up to?
just elementary school, so kindergarten through 5th grade.
You'd have like a snack in 5th grade?
Mm-hmm.
No, I never had like snacks.
It would be like, okay, so we had breakfast and the school would provide breakfast for people, but you could also eat breakfast at home, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then at like 10 o'clock, they would be like snack time, and it would be during like ELA. Oh my gosh, ELA. Do you remember that? English Language Arts. And you would have your snack. It would be like 10 minutes. And then at like 11:30, you would have lunch and then go to recess. And then we would get out at 2:45.
I told you this before. I was like, we had snack time like kindergarten through second grade, which was called primary school. And that was just like the first bit of elementary school. And we had snack time through there. But if the teacher like had run out of snacks because she would whatever, and most of the time she would like supply snacks for everybody. She'd like lay the paper towel down. She'd like pour the goldfish or like the animal crackers on it.
But y'all didn't bring your own snacks?
No, you got to bring your own snacks. Like that'd be like the first part of the year, and then I remember her being like, okay, we're gonna stop. We're about out of snacks. So if you want snack time, you got to bring your own snacks. And I just never had like snacks.
Why?
Because my mom would like have to like rush out of the house to get us to school and then like get to work. And then I think I was just too young to be responsible enough to like remember to pack my snack.
That's so sad. So everyone was eating their snacks around you and you didn't have any?
Yeah, but I never like looked at it as like a bad thing. It was just like, man, I don't have a snack.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
But depending on like the seating order, you might be able to like sit by somebody who'd share. So
I would never share.
I'd get like a chip or something.
I would have shared with you.
You still don't share with me. You'd be the worst person to go to elementary school.
If I see a poor kid who did not money poor, but like a sad kid who has no snack next to me, I would be like, yeah, you can have some. Do you want to know my snack?
What was? Yeah. Do you want to tell me your snack?
Yeah. Because I know you're gonna get a kick out of it. Okay, it would be in a Ziploc baggie, and it would be extra cheddar goldfish with chocolate covered raisins in them, and I'd eat them together.
You bougie little fuck.
Isn't that gross?
You bougie
I'm not bougie, but that's disgusting. I was eating extra cheddar goldfish with chocolate covered raisins.
That's so bougie for like second grade to have that snack.
It's goldfish and raisins.
Yeah, it's coming from somebody. I didn't have a fucking snack. So that snack's bougie. You mixed two snacks. I didn't even have one.
Yeah.
That's like you picking two genders and I don't even know what I am.
I don't think I understand that joke.
Maybe it didn't hit. There's somebody else in the crowd. It would have been funny. Damn. In high school, did you pack your own lunches or no?
No, in high school, we had, where I grew up, you have freshman and sophomore school. So there's 2 freshman and sophomore schools in your district. And so we had this thing called block lunch. And so you would have it for an hour. And my mom would just pick me up every day and take me to lunch or like take me home. But she would have to sign me out. So I couldn't just leave. But she would have to come to the school, sign me out.
Every day she'd come?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
After she worked out. My mom also is a stay-at-home mom. So she didn't have anything else to do.
True. You had 2 parents in the household. One of these right here. Was it awesome? Just saying, ooh.
Yeah. But I think also it like really secluded me from my friends in high school. But I just didn't. Because, block lunch, it would be you could sit anywhere in the school and you would have the cafeteria. The cafeteria was always full. So my friends, are you getting tired? You're yawning.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not yawning at all. That was not what I did.
And
I was just stretching my face.
But my friend group would sit in the hallways below our lockers. And like, I don't want to sit there and eat lunch.
Like sitting on the ground?
Sitting on the ground. Huh. And there would be days that I sat there with them. But typically my mom would just pick me up and we would either go to like Corner Bakery or go home and she would have food ready. But in high school, or in my senior high school, junior and senior year, we got off campus for an hour. So I would just leave, go get Chick-fil-A or go home or something.
I did that. I had senior year, I had like college. I was in college as well. And so I'd have 2 classes leading right into my lunch period. So if you like left for college, you wouldn't have to come back until after lunch. And then you'd go back to another high school class. And they had like a little off wing where that's where you would do your college classes. And so it wasn't it was like a college professor would come into the school and teach you, and it
Yeah.
counted as a college credit. And if I skipped, I would, if ever since I did those college classes, you're able to leave for lunch or whatever. And I was driving one time to Chick-fil-A, and I don't remember if I had a game that night or whatever, but I was driving to Chick-fil-A and I got in a car crash.
Is it the one where you flew into the
It's the one where I ramped my car at 60 miles an
yeah
hour
into the field?
into a field. Yeah. Let me tell the story because I don't remember. Have I told you it all the way through? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to four-way, right?
Can I tell the story? I want to prove that I know it.
I think it's my story, I think.
Yeah, it is your story.
Okay. So let me continue on. And you just try to sit there and be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Try your best. There you go. DuckTales and Bebbles. Talked about that last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so coming up on a four-way, it was a two-lane street, or like a one-way street, but like each people had a lane coming this way and that way. And I was coming up on a car that had their blinker on turning right, but they actually, so I was like, you know what? In Kansas, you kind of can just go around, even if it's in an intersection. It was like dirt roads all around. So I was just going to go around. And as I'm going around, she turns into me. Instead of turning right, she turns left into me. And I'm like, oh shit, she's going to hit me. So I swerve off the road into the corner of the four-way, down into a ditch, ramped up through fence posts that are like just wide enough to fit my car. And I'm like, friggin' right in the middle of the field. And the bitch stops her car. She's like 15 or 16. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. You fucking had your blinker on right. Turned left. It's like, no, I didn't. I had my blinker on left. I was like, okay, I lived this, so I'm not going to kill her. I could probably just get out of here and leave because I guess technically it was my fault. I shouldn't have went around her. But also, the motherfucker had her blinker on right, and she turned left into me.
Was it awkward, like, reversing your car, like, just slowly trying to figure out how to get out of the field?
Well, yeah, I'm, like, in the middle of this farmer's field, and so I don't reverse it. I, like, turn it around, and I was just hoping that it worked. Like, my car worked, and I turned it around and then drove out the same little gap through the fence gate that I ramped in, and then just out and then back onto the road. And it was so funny because there was like a car that had come to the four-way, and they were just sitting at the stop sign. And I'm just driving out of the corner of this four-way, out of this man's field, and then just back into the middle of the four-way, and then back on. And I remember I went to get Chick-fil-A, and my heart was beating so fast.
Were you even hungry?
No, I was starving.
Really? I feel
No,
like when
beforehand.
stuff like,
After the fact, I don't think I was. But fun fact, like 2 years after that happened, I went to get an oil change, and they were like checking. They had to check something, and when they checked in there, it was like filled with like grass and dirt and like old wheat. And they're like, the oil guys were like, "Were you driving in like a field at some point?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I crashed my car into a field like 2 years ago. Would that be it?" And they were like, "Yeah, that would be the problem." So I thought that was hilarious, but I did live. That's one of my mini car crashes.
yeah, you've been in a lot.
Have you ever crashed your car?
I wouldn't say, okay, I got in one wreck, but it wasn't terrible. Remember?
Oh yeah. That was
In
when you
Florida.
just moved to Florida.
I have 3 things that have happened to my car. My first car, I was backing out, and you know my gate in my parents' house?
Mm-hmm.
I clicked the gate button to open, and I just backed up too early, and there's this one metal piece that sticks out of the gate to like latch onto something, and of course I hit the car perfectly on that metal piece, because if I had just hit the gate, it wouldn't have done anything because I was rolling, but it literally impaled my car and made like a perfect hole. And my dad was on a phone call, like a work call, and he heard it happen and saw it happen, and
Oh,
he
you
was
scream
like,
come out.
he was like,
Wait, didn't you? And you broke the gate, yeah?
no, it didn't break.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, mother effer, I gotta go. He said, like, he was on like a serious phone call. He was like, my daughter just wrecked into the gate. I gotta go.
He's trying to make a salary wage, like, to keep you living, and you're out there freaking backing into a gate.
And then I just got my new car, the one I have now. I got it in 2022 January, and I had to wait for it. I didn't get it till February, and this is when I played soccer at Arkansas, and there was a ice storm that was hitting Arkansas, and the whole entire campus was shut down, but my coach still called for practice at 6 a.m., which everyone knows early morning is the worst time for it because the sun's not out yet, nothing's really melting.
I see.
And we had to get to the fields at like 5:30, and if you have to get like PT or something to go to the trainer, you have to get there like 5:15. And I left my apartment at like 5:20, and I had Taylor, my friend, and someone else in the car. And I'm like turning, and I had my car for probably a week.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I was turning, and I've never driven on ice before. I'm from Texas. And I was turning right or something, and as soon as I turned, I lost control of my car. Like I started sliding in a circle, and then everyone's screaming, and I tried to correct it, but I was like pressing the brakes, slamming on the brakes. You're not supposed to do that.
Absolutely not.
And
it's the one thing you're not supposed to do.
yeah, and we ended up skidding and hitting the shat out of this curb super hard, brand new car. And
did it do anything to like your front end?
I was like, oh, like everything's fine. I got out, checked, it was fine. I didn't drive my car. And then the next couple days or something, I drove to Kansas, Overland Park with Taylor and Peyton. Mm-hmm. And as I'm driving, I hear this really weird noise. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
and like my wheel kept like veering off to the left.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And so I called my dad, and my dad's like,
tires out of alignment.
My dad was like, you need to stop driving. And I was like, well, I'm already halfway here, so I don't know. And so I ended up getting to Overland Park, and I called the Audi dealership, and they're like, oh, we can't get you until next week. So I have to drive all the way back to Arkansas. And then I tried to get it in at Arkansas, and it's going to be like an arm and a leg, cost a lot of money. And so I called the dealership that I got my car from in Texas, and they're like, yeah, just drive it back. I drive it all the way back because they're like, oh, it's fine. I drive it all the way back. They get it to the dealership, and they're like, I cannot believe you survived that drive. Like the tread on my tire, because of all the weight that was on it or something, the control arm of my car was bent. Whatever that is, apparently it's big.
How long have you... The control arm?
Yeah. It's like something that...
I got a control arm.
Okay. There's something that it does something with all four tires, and my tire was out of alignment, my front two, and what is that stuff called? The tread on my tire was like literally the metal was showing, and it could have blown at any second. And then my last wreck was whenever I moved here. That old man pulled out in front of me and I hit him. That was a real wreck.
I remember that one. And then you also had like no phone too. Yeah,
that was I moved here, my phone died, like permanently died, and then I got in a wreck, and then what else happened? I had no furniture, so I was sitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm. That's got to use like the same energy of like not having a snack.
Yeah.
I had no snack and you had no furniture. All right. Well, do you want to get into a little bit of an interview? I feel like it's been a while, and since we've been dating, I feel like there might be some new people that are following us. And obviously the people that have been following us and following you especially have seen where you kind of come from and watched you grow up and stuff like that. But for the new people that are watching, let's explain who you are and all about that, boy. You ready? Okay, well, so TikTok, was that the first app that you started on, or was there a different one that you started on? For like social media.
Well, Musical.ly. I had Musical.ly in 6th, 7th grade.
Wasn't that TikTok though?
Yeah, it was
okay.
TikTok first. Or Musical.ly was first, and then Musical.ly got taken off the App Store, and then someone bought Musical.ly, turned it into TikTok. So I never deleted Musical.ly off my phone, but it just like didn't work.
Right.
But then when TikTok became a thing, it like updated, and so whenever I got on TikTok, it just kept my Musical.lys and like my whole account.
I think I saw something that was crazy. It's like if you got verified on Musical.ly, you kept the verification to TikTok. Mm-hmm. So there's some people that got verified with like no followers or something, and they're on TikTok verified. Mm-hmm. And I feel like TikTok's like a hard verification to get a little bit, because you have to have, I was looking into it the other day, to get it you have to have 4 different like links, like stories,
news articles.
News articles written about you.
I was verified once.
You were? Tell me about that. How did you
Uh,
get verified and where did it go?
I got verified on TikTok my senior year of high school, and I like knew this. So it was when the Creator Fund had just started,
Okay.
or it was about to launch, and so someone from TikTok reached out to me through email. It was like, hey, like we're reaching out to a bunch of different creators. We're gonna enable the Creator Fund on your account, and we want to see if you can test it. Like if you agree to that, whatever. So I think it was definitely a lot of other creators,
Right.
but it, like I got the email, so I was like, yeah, like I'll help, and I knew it was legit because that was when there wasn't really scams yet because
Yeah.
TikTok wasn't big enough, and it like had the check mark in the email that it was verified from a verified sender, and so I agreed to that, and I kind of like I didn't like deserve the verification, but since I had this contact, I reached out to him. And after the whole thing and like went through, I reached out. I was like, hey, like, is there anything I can do to get verified? And he was like, oh yeah, fill this out. And so I filled out like this Google form, and
What were the questions on it? Was
I
it
don't
like,
even remember. It was like,
did you need like the 4 news articles?
no, because it was through like an actual worker from TikTok. So it wasn't like, because you can go into TikTok app right now and like request verification, but this was like a legit link from someone who
Oh,
worked
you
there.
had like the connection.
Yeah. So he just had me fill it out, and it was like, what's your TikTok username? How old are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I filled it out. And then like a week later, he was like, go check. I think you might be verified. And I was coming back from soccer practice, and
Were you pumped?
I saw it and I was like, holy crap. I had a blue check.
What was the, did you have, what's that contact's got? What's his contact? I have some reaching out to do. You still got that email?
Wait, what? Oh, the dude who reached out to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
But could you search your email and maybe still have it? Because I know you have like a bajillion
Yeah.
emails that you never delete. Did you ever think about that? Because you could get your verification back. Wait, how did it go away?
Because I had an account, the one that I have now, and then I like left it alone for like 2 years, and then I created a new one, and then I was like, you know what, like it's time for me to go back. 2 years later, whatever. I went back and I was like, okay, I can change the name on it, but I remember, you know, Mackenzie Galloway.
Yeah.
So she had an account and it was MJ Grimsley, and she wanted to change it to MJ Galloway because she had just gotten married.
Right.
But she had posted, she was like, it's so hard, like I'm having to be in contact with TikTok because if I change my username, I lose my verification, yada yada yada.
Was she able to get that done though?
She was able to get it, but it took like 5 months.
Oh gosh.
It was like constant communication back and forth. So she was MJ Grimsley 5 months after she was married.
Okay.
On TikTok. And I remember I went to go change it, and it was like one of those things where it's like, if I don't start posting on this account now, I'm never going to do it. And I kind of got a fire lit under my ass to like go back to this account. And
Well, let's break that down. Like, what is so you had an account for a while that was verified. You left that account to go to a different account of your, like, why did you leave one account and go to another one?
because
Please tell me and enlighten me.
because I had a boyfriend in high school and we made a TikTok account together. Well,
Okay.
actually it was my Musical.ly, and then we turned it into a joint TikTok account together. And then it was our names.
So then when you guys broke up, you went to your own account.
Yeah, when we broke up, I went to my own account and kind of left the one that was verified dormant. And then after 2 years, I was like, okay. He got off on all social media. He didn't post or anything. So it was like, why would we just let this sit here? I'm going to take it. And it
That
was
is your
mine
account first.
Yeah.
So then,
I went back.
and then changed it to just your name.
Well, I went to try and change it, and it was like, if you do this, you're going to lose your verification. Like it gave me a notice across.
Gosh.
And I was like, ooh. And so I didn't do it. I canceled, and I was like, okay, I'll just post. I changed my name, and I was like, let me just post one. But then I posted, and it said it was from Brooke and then my ex's name. And so
Right.
people would have been like, what the heck? So I was like, crap, I need to change this. And then it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Screw it. And I just said okay about the losing verification. I wasn't expecting it to happen that fast, but it happened immediately.
Like they took it away.
It was gone.
I just feel like, I don't know, TikTok's definitely a hard spot. I feel like Snapchat's really hard to get a verification. TikTok's really hard to get a verification. Especially now, because you have to have like news articles. So like if you're not like famous for something else other than TikTok, then it's really hard to get one, because why else would you be in the news? Like who's reporting on just like TikTokers, I guess, you know? So unless you have the contact. Do you think you could just get it back though if you like reached out?
No,
Because
I tried, but I think he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh.
But I have a friend from high school who his dad like has a lot of these like crazy hypercars, and he was driving one, and he like had gotten a following because he would post the cars, and a lot of people are into that. But he had gotten in a car wreck, and it was like a one of one Pagani type of car. That's what it's called. And he wrecked it, and like Daily Mail reported on it, People or something
like
reported,
all these.
and so he got to take those and then submitted it and got verified
Oh
because he was
my
like by
gosh.
actual news stations that are like look like have a good reputation.
What's crazy to
and are
me is like
known.
they're actual news stations, and you like have to submit those, but like who's really watching the news anymore? People go to TikTok to
Well,
watch.
I saw it because I watch Daily Mail on Snapchat. That's like the only thing that I watch because there's just so much juice in there. And I remember I was clicking, and I was
They
like,
clickbait you probably with
it's like Gage. That's why I went to high school with him. What the heck? I went to middle school with him. And I remember I sent it to him, and he was like, dude, I know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but like, yeah.
And now he's fucking verified.
Yeah. But he has a lot of followers. I think he has like 500K or something.
Oh, okay. Wow. So did you end up going to, so you did TikTok in high school, then you go to college, and then bring me in on like what happened at college and why. Like I know, but like I know to an extent, but you haven't told me in a while, and there's some people that probably don't know. So what happens at college where it's just like doesn't work?
So I played soccer at the University of Arkansas. I committed there when I was a freshman in high school before they changed the rules. And I will say it was really early, but I feel like Arkansas, you know me, I feel like Arkansas was the best place for me to go. I mean, Vanderbilt, hello.
Yeah.
No.
That was your other offer?
Well, yeah, Vanderbilt. I had Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Like I had a lot of like places I could have gone, but I chose Arkansas, which in reality, the education there best fit for me.
Why do you leave? Why do you quit college?
I think the main thing was I never had anything that tested my mental toughness. I think I grew up in a really nice area. My family was amazing. I was super close with my family, and soccer was like a gift for me. Like it wasn't something that I had to, and this is not me being like cocky in any way. Like I was just really good at it, and I didn't really have to put in a lot of effort to be good at it. I think everything was just really handed to me, not in like a bratty way, but just there was a lot of things that I couldn't even control that just were amazing for me. Like
Right.
I can't control my family, how great they were, but they are. Can't control on where I live, but it was. And then I had a boyfriend in high school, and that was great at the time. And then social media, like somehow I'm blowing up in high school. Like everything was just going so well, and nothing ever went wrong.
Yeah.
And so when I went to college, it kind of was a big culture shock for me because I was away from my family. I was away from my boyfriend at the time. I feel weird talking about this to you.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want you to get annoyed or upset.
Why would I get annoyed?
I don't know.
What am I going to go back there and make him disappear? I can't do anything. I'm just your boyfriend now.
I was away
We have
from
one thing in common.
each other.
You.
Oh.
I was going to make a dirty joke. I just decided not to. Go on.
I went to college, and I was away from everyone, and I had always been, I think one of the things, this is just an example of like the culture shock. I'm going into college a freshman. I'm 17 years old or 18, and there's girls on the team that are 23 and have been playing for 4 to 5 years that are obviously going to play over me.
Those girls are like 27 or 8 now.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And they're going to play over me because they have more. Going to college, you need college experience, but it's so hard to get that experience because the coaches are going to play who's comfortable playing against these teams. Like the level when you jump from high school to college is so different.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to throw in a freshman who's never played in a college game before and start them when they have someone who's been playing for 4.5 years, who has a ton of rings under their belt, who has like been nominated for the Mac Herman Award.
Well, they probably expected you to get there eventually too.
Yes,
and like,
they did. But I think that was
well, you said, hell no. I'm
think
getting
that
out of
was
this
just
bitch.
another thing that was like, oh my gosh, like now I actually kind of, and this sounds bad because it is bad, but like this is just how my brain was wired because I never went through anything. I never faced any adversity. It was like, oh, I'm going to actually have to work to play.
Yeah.
And I never really did. I mean, I did extra stuff on my own all the time, but I didn't necessarily have to.
I know what you're saying.
And so I go to college.
Was like a buildup of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, my ex-boyfriend was playing football 5 hours away and my family's 5 hours away and I'm over here in Arkansas and I want nothing but just to go back to high school and have more structure because I'm also on my own. I mean, you went through it. No matter what, if you're playing a sport or not, you're just on your own and it's kind of like you get dropped off and you're like, good luck.
It's weird.
And you're like, what? I remember the first night in my dorm, I was like,
did you cry?
oh my gosh.
The first night in your dorm you cried?
Dude, it was terrible. I hated every minute of it. And I got more comfortable as time went on, but
it was like it's like you're trying to change something that's just not going to change.
I know.
You were like, you're there, Brooke. You're not leaving.
I know.
You ended up leaving. But
I think I felt really trapped because it was something that I just didn't want to do. And I'd kind of made up.
Which kind of so sad because that's a lot of people's dreams. Like people would dream to be able to go play.
Eventually why I ended up quitting because I was taking a scholarship from the team, like from someone on the team or someone that could potentially. I had a terrible attitude. Like, it was just a ton of different things. You go to college and everything changes. Everyone's trying to figure it out. And obviously it'd be a lie to say it wasn't like my relationship that was kind of going downhill in the midst.
Do you think that college is like kind of a lie? Not like that. I'm not saying like college is not good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like everyone's like, it's going to be the funnest years of your life. It's going to be like,
it was the worst years of my life.
I think college is like, yes, it was so fun. Not a lot of responsibility, but you're also trying to figure out like, it's like the first years in adulthood. And you don't really have to act like an adult because you're in college. So you're still in school. You still have that structure of like year planning, but it's like, okay, I'm away from everything I know. My hometown. I'm away from my friends. If your friends don't go to college, you go to college by yourself. You're like, I got to make new friends. And so you're like kind of reinventing yourself, and you can almost reinvent yourself in a bad way. I know I did. I know I was like, I became somebody I definitely was not and was not supposed to be. And I was like, for myself, I noticed that. And that's why like my junior year of college, I was like, I'm moving. I got to get out of here. I cannot be in Kansas anymore. I'm not who I want to be. So I moved to Hawaii and started becoming who I wanted to be and really just being my complete self and not having like any censorship. I was like, I need to be myself instead of like, because when I was trying to like be somebody else to fit in with the friends there, I like ended up hating my life and becoming a worse person. So I moved away from that. And then like I'm not going to speak for you, but like you're hinting at kind of like, it was just hard to find yourself.
I wasn't even open to like trying to make new friends or anything. Like I was like, I want to go home.
Right.
And it was, my relationship was failing. I wanted to figure it out. Like my first semester, the first 2 months there, I was like, I want to leave. I want to move home and I want to move closer to figure it out with him.
Right.
And he's over there trying to figure out college and trying to find out who he is, and he's starting to do like go out and drink and whatever. And we had never did that in high school. And so that was like crazy for me because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to act with you doing this. I know it's not bad, but then you throw in like social media with it.
Right.
And I have people who knew us on social media who are DMing me pictures of him and not necessarily doing anything bad, but just I'm 5 hours away. I'm staying in my dorm and he's trying to figure out life down there. And it's something that's totally opposite from how we grew up. And I didn't know how to go about it. And so it just became really toxic and crazy. And I wanted nothing but just move home and just go back to everything the way it used to be. Work it out with him, whatever. Parents wouldn't let me. And then eventually we broke up. And then that's when second semester came. And that's when I was like down bad.
You went off the rails.
I was like, I don't care about anything. Yada, yada, yada. Like I'm going to go get drunk tonight, even though I have 6 a.m. practice tomorrow. And
when did you guys break up? So it was like 2021.
Yeah, it was like December 2021.
Okay.
And then, yeah, like
So you went off the rails from 2021 or 2022, the beginning of 2022, and then all 2022? Or were you like just like that second half of school, like up until summer?
I would say like emotionally, mentally, physically off the rails from January 2022 to May 2022. But like I feel like I lost so much weight. I think I got down to 109 pounds and I went into college 130. And I was like,
You just weren't eating.
I had no appetite. It wasn't like I'm going to starve myself, but it was like I had zero appetite. I just had this pit in my stomach 24/7, in the dark all the time, didn't go to class. My room was disgusting. Like I would go, and this is so gross, but like I was depressed. Like I would go days at a time without showering.
Bro,
I know I was so like, I literally wanted to die. And I would call my mom. Like there was a time I called my mom and she got in the car and like drove all the way to Arkansas to be with me. And, but then I think I got mentally better by May 2022. That's when I went to Hawaii with Olivia for the first time. It was a great time. And, but I think mentally I was still mentally messed up till like June 2023.
it's like a whole nother year basically. After that Hawaii trip.
Yeah. Mentally.
Was that Hawaii trip in 2022 or 2023?
2022.
Damn.
It was from beginning of May to June, end of June.
So you were messed up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Okay, so and then you finally start to get better. And then so you moved back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you stayed at home for
a year. I moved back home in 2022. When I got back from Hawaii, I moved home in August. And then I tried to do Arkansas my sophomore year online. Didn't do it. Dropped out. Told my parents, sorry, this is dumb. And then I lived at home until July, or not home, but an apartment down the road from my parents till July 2023. And then that's when
So you had a full year in that apartment.
Yeah.
What did you even do?
I told you I was mentally, so I wouldn't wake up until like 1 every day, and I would have one meal and it would be a Big Mac. And I would lay around, and then like 6 o'clock my day would start. I would Uber Eats the food. And then 6 o'clock I would head over to my parents and hang out. And
my gosh, dude.
And then go home, and then I'd go back to my apartment. I'd be up till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then sleep in until it was just like constant.
Did you like work out? Did you?
Mm-mm. But I was so skinny still. I was so skinny.
What did you do? Were you doing social media at the time? Were you still posting?
Yeah, I was posting, but like I wasn't like doing anything.
Oh my gosh. Like what would you post during that time when you just stayed in your apartment all
Literally
the time?
just trends. Like I would just, if there was like a lip syncing thing that was happening, I would lip sync it. Like,
good Lord.
Yeah.
How were you paying for rent? Was it still like through social media money?
Mm-hmm.
Like you had enough?
And I got brand deals still.
Good Lord. So you're able to just stay up till 4 and go to bed at freaking 4 and wake up at like 11, 12?
No, 1.
1 o'clock?
My literal like 3-year ago today memories are me in bed with Swiper and he's laying on my face, and I'll like check the time and it'd be like 1:30.
Brooke.
I know. Gross.
Dude, so you hated life.
Oh, so much.
And then you started getting better when what? You moved to Florida?
Yeah, a little before. I would say like a month before I moved to Florida.
Huh.
What?
That's just funny. Not that no disrespect, but it's just like.
Yeah. I just kind of clicked. I was like, whatever.
And then you were finally like, all right.
And after it clicked and I was like, I need to like move on or whatever and just be done. It was I don't know. I woke up one day and I was just done. I just did not care. I was like, whatever. Don't care. And not in like a bad way. I was just like, I'm not gonna let this keep like screwing with me mentally. And then like 3 days later I signed a lease in Florida. And I was just fine. And then I moved. And then when I moved here, it was kind of weird. Just like, I know nobody here.
Dang. So you like restarted over all the way here.
Yeah, because I didn't want to like, I was so much better for that month, but I didn't want to like stay in my hometown and like just constantly be reminded of everything there. And like, I was like, if I'm going to like continue to get better.
Well, I've always said that. I think that one of the best things you can do in life is move away from your hometown and try something else. Like just see something else, live somewhere else. It's going to be hard, but going somewhere, you literally get to go somewhere where nobody knows you. And you can basically, if you failed the last place you lived and failed the last people you were around, there's no reason to just hold on to that. Accept it. Be like, you know what? I was a terrible person. That is what it is. I'm sorry I hurt people's feelings. I'm sorry I hurt who I hurt. I got to move, and I'm going to try to be a better person. Yeah. And you do that. And that's what I left Kansas because, like, you know what? That's not the person I want to be. I want to go to Hawaii. Went to Hawaii. Had a great time in Hawaii. Felt like I was a much better human being. Moved here. And now I'm here also in Florida. And I feel like I'm even a better human being. And so I think that but then it just gets to a point where it's like, I don't want to be the same person I was during this last everything I've ever known. So
I was like a zombie when I lived at home that year. 2022 to 2023 doesn't even feel like real life to me. That's when I got my skin cancer. Like that's just it. Literally, I felt like a walking zombie. I felt like I was myself in human form, but like was so.
You had like no hair too, right?
No, my hair like all fell out. Got super thin. I had extensions. I was home and it fixed the homesick part, but like not because it wasn't the same. And I was so like I was just so depressed. And like in that time period, I didn't know that I was depressed. I was like, oh, I'm home and like everything's fine. But like looking back on it, I was like, girl, you were not okay.
Yeah, you're not all right.
You were so not okay.
I'm glad that you're okay now. I'm glad that you're all right now.
Thanks.
We almost did that interview like we didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting. But I'm glad that you're all right now. Your hair's getting longer. You got some
meat on my bones.
You got some meat on your bones. Looking pretty, looking good. Skin's pretty clear.
Thank you.
And you're killing it now. But
when did you first know that you had a crush on me?
I have no idea.
What?
I have no idea. I don't remember like a specific moment. I don't know. I feel like it just accumulated over time because we were friends for a while. And then it like just eventually got to the point where I was like, oh, I actually like this girl.
You don't remember the first, like, I've got a crush.
Damn. I don't know. I like you a lot and I love you a lot, but I don't remember like, I remember one point, I don't know if it was the first time or whatever, but at one point I saw you like shoot a shotgun at a skeet thing. I was like, oh, I really like her. I think I could see liking her. But there was also a lot of things while you were around that same period where I was like, I don't like her.
Really? What? Because I got too drunk on my 21st?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
you were a little lazy. And I think I had an issue with that. You're not lazy anymore.
I was very lazy. And I just don't think you understood that I was in the midst of trying to get out of the laziness that I had been in for a year, just because I was so depressed.
Well, I just didn't know you were going to.
I wasn't depressed anymore, but it was like, okay, this is kind of like my routine. How do I get it? It took so long to get out of that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say, honestly, within the last 8 months.
You got unlazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, I had an issue with that, and I was like, that's not going to work. You were a vapor.
I did vape.
I wasn't attracted to that at all. So like there were key moments where I was like, oh yeah, she's very funny.
I love how you remember the things that you didn't like about me, but you can't remember.
Well, I remember the things that I didn't like about you because there was fewer of them. Like everything else I liked about you, but there was just some key factors that I thought you were lazy, you vaped, and I felt like it was going to be really tough to maybe pursue somebody that is on social media who also had a social media couple past. And you know that was a big one for me.
That's tough. I give a lot of props to you for being able to do it.
Because you have to come, like, everybody else is a fan of another couple. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to come in and try to be this new guy on the block. And I think that was also just tough for me. It's like I didn't know if I wanted to sign up for that. And I also never knew if I wanted to have a relationship on social media. And I had told you that for a while. I was like, I just don't know if it's smart because I seen what it did to you. and like how you have to navigate that if something goes bad. And obviously you hope nothing goes awry, but you never know if that's going to happen or not. And so seeing you go through that and like the depression that it put you through, and then like, because one, you go through the breakup, and then two, you have to somehow explain it to everybody else while being respectful of the other person also going through the breakup. But like also in the back of your mind, you're probably like, fuck that. That's annoying. I shouldn't have to be respectful. But like, you kind of have to be.
And then at the same time, you have like millions of people.
And then you have millions of people like, asking what's going on.
I miss him. I miss y'all together. Like, shut up. That's not what I need to know right now. Or
exactly.
Here.
So it's like, I didn't know if I wanted to.
And then getting videos. Like, I can't imagine if you and I broke up and someone sent me a video of you at a bar. That happened to me probably every weekend.
Oh, like talking to somebody else?
Yeah. Like, I would just get videos, or like someone would reach out to me and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah is talking to, and like, we're not together anymore. Like, he can do whatever he wants. But like, I'm trying to. But
like, they know who you are, so they're going to send it to you.
And I think that was hard for me too, to like get there with you, because you were doing social media, but I liked you so much. And I also know what not to do again. Like, I learned. It sucked. It was terrible. But like, I learned. Like, I know I would never make my whole entire content just about you. I know I would never make it conjoined. I know I would never like.
We talked about that. We talked about like before we did it, we were like, you know what? We're still our own human beings. We're 22 years old. I had my own social media before you ever came along that had a good amount of followers and a good amount of following. And like, I loved the community that I had built. And then you had your own community and where you'd come from. So it was like, let's never
lose that.
Yeah, let's never lose that. We could feature each other because we're like a big part of each other's lives. But we were never like, let's combine it. Let's conjoin it. Like, I don't know, probably 50% of my videos are with you. And granted, probably a lot of us know each other from us just dating, and not a lot of people, some people might not know who I am before I started dating you. But I try to keep it pretty balanced, and I feel like you do a good job of it too. Like, we make videos with each other and without each other. And there's never like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's no pressure with that. We do a really good job with that. Like,
and I think we did a good job too. Like, there was some time that we were together before we released it, so we were able to like get used to just us two without outsiders or like the world knowing that we were together. So we were able to have like a solid foundation for a little bit,
right?
Until we were ready to.
We also didn't want to like do the thing where it was like release it to the public and then like break up like a month later.
Because it was so like, if it was so early,
right? We didn't want to just be like, oh well, I just asked her to be my girlfriend 2 weeks ago, let's tell everybody.
And then like shit goes wrong, and then it's like, oh, just kidding, we broke up.
So I'm glad that we did that too. But yeah, it was definitely, those are the few things that I just was nervous about. When was your moment that you really liked me?
The first day that we started texting, we didn't even meet yet, and we were texting and we stayed up until 4 a.m. talking, remember? But then you weren't ready. Like, you were about to leave for Hawaii. So I liked him for a really long time before anything like even was reciprocated. Because when I slid in, he was like, oh yeah, like this would be fun to like just talk to this girl, whatever. But like, he was moving to Hawaii, I was moving to Florida.
And that's when we're like, we're just gonna have to be friends.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
But the first night it was like it was like so innocent, but it was like we were flirting back and forth and it was fun. But then, friends not gonna work. But I just knew the first time that I ever talked to him that I had a crush on him.
Damn.
So I never gave up.
Well, that makes me look like an asshole. But also it doesn't, because I know you were texting with that damn vape in your mouth, freaking ripping that bitch while you were flirting.
I was up until 4 a.m. I was like this, smiling. You know, you were giddy too. You stayed up till 4 talking to me too. It wasn't just me.
I didn't have no vape in my hand, no.
But you still stayed up till 4 to talk to me.
Easy peasy.
How many other people were you texting?
You're the only one. You're probably stalking my Snap score then too.
I was.
Really? Mm-hmm. First night?
Yep.
Crazy. Do you know that's crazy?
That is crazy, yeah.
The first night you started Snapchatting.
But here's the thing. It's just like, I want to prepare myself. Because I literally wasn't talking to anyone. I had no hoes. I had no dudes on my phone. Like, it wasn't like that. So you were just getting all of me. But Like, I wasn't sharing it with anyone else. You were sharing yourself. Stop. You were sharing your personality with multiple different girls, and I figured that out because of your Snap score. So it's like, oh, I don't want to.
Was I Snapchatting other girls that night?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give all my energy to you if you're giving.
Do you want that booger?
No. If you're giving your energy to, oh my gosh, that has a freaking like fingernail on it.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Just kidding. I wouldn't throw it at you. That was a nice one to get. Got it out of the corner of my nose. Ooh, you need to trim my nose hairs.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that was a good podcast. What do you think?
I think it was fabulous.
All right. That, yeah, do you have anything else to say?
No, it's 12:19.
All right. We got to get going. I love you guys all. That is the end of
I love
this
you guys
podcast.
Podcast. I love you guys all.
Hide your moms. Peace.